Welcome to Seeing Scarlet. It's Shelby here with Tyler, as always. We have a special guest, Page Mindedahl, a former Red Raider softball player. Y'all know her for all her vibes and the most important thing about you, Paige, the owner, the creator of Dwayne The Rock.
Yes.
If you don't know what that is, you must be a new softball fan, which we have a lot of those around here, but maybe we'll let Paige explain what Dwayne is in a second. But welcome to the show. Again, you've been here before, past guests, but glad to have you. We're going to talk all about Texas Tech softball. This is all Texas Tech softball today, y'all. There's no other sports in this. Maybe we'll recap them later in the week. There's a few things going on, but first, regional in Texas Tech softball history this weekend. We'll start it off with, you better be there, or we're going to hunt you down one by one. And I'll leave it there because I don't want to get arrested. But be there this weekend. First game, 4:30 against Brown. If they win, then they play Saturday evening about. Find the tickets on texastech.com. I think right now you can bid for them or apply for them. But on Wednesday morning at about 8:30, they all go and sell. So keep your eyes peeled for that. That's my opening pitch. How are y'all doing, Tyler? Paige, what's going on? I'm just vibing. Big 12 champs times 2.
I'm living on a high.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
Tyler, you're alive?
Yeah, I'm alive. Living on a high right now. Super excited for this team. Super excited to be in the presence of the creator of Dwayne The Rock. What? This is just so cool.
This is so cool. Paige, just tell the people in case, because we do have a lot of new fans around here since the last time we were in the show, between the new players' parents that watch the show and then just a lot of Texas Tech fans that have been following this team. Explain what the famous Dwayne The Rock. It's not that Dwayne The Rock that you're thinking about, if that's what you're thinking. It's the real one.
So my senior year now, I think 2 seasons ago. I measured out season. So 2 seasons ago, we were in El Paso for a preseason tournament. Oh. It's so weird to talk about this right now. Like I'm having an out-of-body experience.
Feels like a lifetime ago.
It really does. We were in El Paso for a preseason tournament, and I literally just tied, this is how simple softball is, guys, tied a rock to a string, and I drug him around during pregame, and then I don't even remember, I feel like we ended up having a comeback win or something like that in the game we were about to play.
Sounds right.
So then, Dwayne became just our little rally rock. He was kind of the thing that kept people laughing, kept things really lighthearted on the team that year. And that was pretty early on in the season. So he was with us for the long haul, and then ended up passing him down that next season after I graduated to Alana Barraza, who is actually up in Stillwater with me now, funny enough. And she took him around that next season. And I do have him now. He's sitting in my office at work. He's I call him my conversation piece. Everyone has their little piece in their home where they're like, I hope someone asks me about that. He's my conversation piece. So people walk in and give me a weird look. Why do you have a rock sitting on the shelf? And I get to tell the story. So it's fun. It's a good way to kind of remember some great times in my life. So he makes me smile when I look at him.
Yeah, that's how I always know who the OG Texas Tech fans are and who are the new ones. I love you both, but when someone yells bottom text in our replies, I'm like, oh.
Right. I can't remember.
You're a real one.
I feel bad. I don't remember who. There's so many tech burner accounts and all that out there. My favorite, and I am diehard to this, I assume, woman, whoever it is, every time Tech softball does anything remotely good, he posts that meme that went around.
It's Doe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've seen him do it. Yeah.
I like every tweet. I like it every time. I'll retweet it. It just makes me laugh so hard that I am a part of Texas Tech burner Twitter. It's my claim to fame. It's on my resume.
You should create a burner. We got to get you fully engulfed into the world that is Texas Tech Twitter.
Right.
Maybe you have one. Oh.
Maybe I am.
Oh.
I'm not.
I know who that is.
Yeah,
I do.
no,
I'm not going to dox them, but I do know who that is. They watch the show, so they'll definitely hear you say that, and they'll be very happy to hear you say that. Doe, I don't even know what the full thing is.
I know, I should have written it down.
It's a Reddit thing. I know that much. He has a huge Texas Tech Reddit page named that.
Oh.
So he's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, I feel honored whenever he posts it. So
that's hilarious. So there it is. If you've been watching this on YouTube, you saw Dwayne the Rock. He's on the thumbnail or on Twitter, wherever you saw it, wherever you're watching this. That is the little rock that's on the front page of this show. So you know what it is. As an alum, I just want to know, honestly, highs and lows of it. How has this roller coaster of the last 9 to 10 months been? Because I know how it's been as someone that covers the team and follows them and alum myself, but you have a much different perspective, and I can imagine it's been a lot.
So, yeah, I can't even, it's so weird to just think about that this is even happening. Like the other day, I was sitting in the living room and me and my boyfriend were watching the Big 12 championship and they won it. And it was just like, it's so surreal that like I get to hear my team have their name called and be, you know, have ESPN say Big 12 champions, Texas Tech softball. Like that's so, it's such an out of body, surreal. I can't even put it into words. I'm going to get emotional. I'm trying not to. I cried the other day. It was fine. Yeah, it's been super special. I think if you know, you know, there's been a lot of love needed in this program for a really long time.
It's a good word to use.
Yeah, that's what we've always said. The program just needs love. That's what when I was there, that's what we told administration, told people that came into the program. Like the program just needs someone that's going to love it, care for it, and that goes from players, coaches, everyone around it. So it's really cool to get to see that happening right now. To tell you, I can tell you exactly where I was when the whole Nyjah thing broke out. That was crazy and really surreal for me, especially because she's a Kansas kid as well. I grew up not playing against her because she's a lot younger than I am. But, you know, being around her, we very, very briefly played on the same travel ball team together. When I say briefly, I mean
What's
briefly.
up, Nyjah? You hear that?
Well, okay.
Let us know. Do you remember Paige?
Embarrassingly enough, when I went down in the fall to go watch fall games and be there for alumni weekend, I like introduced myself to her and was like, "You're not going to remember me at all." And I told her the whole story. She's like, "Oh yeah, I do not remember that period of my life." I was like, "It's okay. It's my claim to fame that we were on the same like travel ball." Again, she was younger, so she was on a younger team, but like that's my claim to fame.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's cool to see a lot of love be poured into the program. That's been the big thing for me. Is that's all I want. I don't care. They could go 0 for 100 and it wouldn't matter as long as people are showing the program some love and really pouring themselves into it.
Yeah, I can only agree from my perspective, but I agree 100% because I remember whatever day that was in June when the last staff left, and I was like, "You've got to be kidding me." I remember waking up that morning and be like, "This can't be real," and it's like we just cannot allow like what y'all's group did that was so important to the program, and we make sure everybody knows about it all the time. Like y'all had this on the right track. I was like, we can't allow this to turn around. So very thankful that it's where it is now. I never imagined it to get here so fast, to be honest.
Right. Neither did anyone else in my position, by the way.
Yeah. Do y'all have like a big group text where you're like, or at least the ones that you play with, where y'all are?
I wish we did. That's kind of what I was telling you about earlier. I wish the alumni were a little bit more connected, and I'd love to make that happen. I'd love to get something going there, but I'm very thankful. Kirby has done a really good job in the last since I was at Tech. Really trying to get someone in there that is again just going to pour love into the program, and he did a really good job this summer. So I'm very thankful to him. He's always very kind to me and makes it known how much he cares about the program. So I mean, Kirby's got my support all the way. So I'm thankful for him.
We love to hear that from someone that's been in the program. So
yeah.
He was out there at Oklahoma City. I saw him.
I know. That's why I really wish I should have made the drive. I should have just came.
I saw Liv Raines was there, but I didn't know she was there until after.
She was there.
I was like, man, I would have found her and said what's up, but I saw her taking pictures. So it's been cool.
Yeah. So Paige, so we were gonna ask, like, so you're talking about, you used to play with Nyjah, and obviously you've noticed Nyjah's done a lot of great things this year. So who on this team specifically has really like stood out to you?
It's so hard for me to not say Demi, obviously.
Right. Classic.
Demi's going to make me cry too. I've really got to reel it in.
I don't even know her like that, and I wanted to cry when she hit that home run.
Oh my God. please. Every time she has done literally anything this year and I've been able to watch, I'm like trying to hold myself together. Again, if you know, you know. She's been through it. She has seen the highs and lows of college softball. I think at this point we've now had the same amount of coaches in our playing career. So she's put in the work. It's so funny talking to her like this year, being away from her for a year, obviously, but seeing her now compared to the freshman that she was when she came in, it's so funny because there's so much about her that she's still like a big goofball, just wants to go out there and have fun. But I can really tell that this year really meant something to her, and her staying there again, like I've been through it. I've had that many coaches in my career as well. It's hard to stick through that stuff. It's hard to see the other side of it. So for her to stay at a program, not only coming into it with coaches that she didn't commit to and staying there through X amount that she's seen, I think it is a very big testament to the person she is. And I'm really proud of her. I love her so much. She has worked her tail off, and I'm so thankful that she saw grass is greener where you water it. So she'll do great things. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we were trying that because she had a little bit of an injury in fall, and then that extended to the season, and we were like, y'all just wait. You gotta wait. Like I feel like I was even telling everybody, staff, players, everybody. I was like, no, you gotta wait till Demi's back. It's gonna like you just gotta wait. And I don't know. Did you get a chance to read that story they put out on?
I did. Jay, their SID, did a really good job with that. If you haven't read it and you're listening, please go read it, because it tells the whole story of who Demi is, what she's been through, and she deserves all the flowers that she's getting. I've really, really appreciated the team and the girls and the coaches seeing her and seeing what she's, gone through in the last 4 years. And they've really embraced her and let her kind of they let her put the sticker on the Big 12 championship flag or banner.
They were chanting her name. I don't know if they said it on TV. They were chanting her name for like 30 seconds before she finally went down.
That was really cool. That's cool for someone like me to see, who has been in the trenches and been through it with her. That's really cool for me to see, and I really appreciate them seeing that, along with Reagan and Logan, by the way. I can't not mention them. They've been superstars too. I wish I would have gotten to play with those two. I think I would have really liked to, but they deserve just as much love and attention about that stuff too.
Yeah, and they play a tough role in the team, but they do it so well. Like you can speak to that as someone that's played softball, but we talked about that with Reagan, especially like she leads the team in batting average. Glasgow said the other day in a press conference, he's like, I firmly believe she's the best pinch hitter in the Big 12, if not one of the best in the country. And and that's not what she did last year. Like last year she played every day, and for her, I just don't we'll get to talk to her eventually maybe, but maybe you can speak to that a little bit, like that difficulty. And Logan's the same thing. She came in there against Baylor, I think it was, and she's the one that started the scoring against Baylor, set up the bases for whoever they're after on a pinch hit as well. So like that's just a tough role, and they do it perfectly.
It is the hardest role in softball. You will find very few coaches that will tell you there's a harder role in softball than being a pinch hitter. You go in with not a lot of information, not a lot of just kind of hoping and going on a prayer, but that's where you really rely on your training, really rely on your practice, really rely on film, things like that you're doing before the game. And those two seem to just know what they're doing in that role and really embrace it. And that's the other part of pinch hitting, is you really have to embrace it. Like you've got to go in there knowing this is my role, this is what I need to be good at, and just be open to it. That's the hardest part, because it is not a fun role to be in.
Yeah, I can imagine. It was cool to see I think Alexa Linglers had a little bit of a stomach bug. A few people on the team did, but she couldn't play. So Reagan got to go out there and play in that 18-0 record-breaking game. Got to play second for maybe the first time all year, the second time all year.
Like that, yeah.
So that was cool to see. But yeah, they've been great. Any other players you want to shout out before we move on to the next? I don't want to cut you off.
You mentioned Reagan and Logan. Give them all the love, please, guys. Maya Davis has been a stud. I love watching her.
So
She's
fun.
Love her.
To watch. I could go down the whole lineup. I'm going to be really honest. This is a fun team to watch.
Speaking of that, do you have any favorite moments that stick out?
Ooh.
Last night or 2 nights ago? When was that? Selection Sunday?
Yeah.
I don't even know what
I know,
today
it
is.
feels this week is off already. Getting to be there against when they were at home for the Oklahoma State series was really cool. That was my first time being back to watch a game since I graduated, so it was really cool to be down there and experience it on the other side. It felt weird. Not jokingly, this is so serious. I told my boyfriend we had like walked up into the concourse, and I was like, I've never been to this part of our field. Like, I've never been behind. I've never walked over here before.
That's funny, yeah.
So it was cool. I loved it. I had so much fun. The great memories that weekend. So that was pretty special. And like, there's nothing big about it. It was just cool to be there. And
yeah, it's always cool to go back.
Yeah, I got to see them at home. Got to see a bunch of people that do administration. Got to see our academic advisor, Brooklyn. Got to see Tyler, our strength coach. That is somebody else I want to shout out too, because no one behind the scenes understands how much Tyler has also been through. This is his sixth, I think he told me his sixth softball coach he's had since he's been coach at Tech. No one deserves flowers like Tyler does. Love him so much. He's a great guy. Obviously does a lot for the team, strength and conditioning wise, but he's also just a great presence to have, really positive. I know everyone while I was there loved him. So shout out to Tyler as well.
Shout out Tyler. All the Tylers.
Yeah, everyone. Tyler, you too.
So we saw that you tweeted, the program is rooted in community, and you're talking about when you come back, you just really love, like, something about Texas Tech, all the alumni. You look at Liv Raines, who came this past weekend, everybody comes back. So what is it about, like, Lubbock and Texas Tech that keeps y'all wanting to come back, even though they went through all these coaching changes, all the highs and lows, y'all still stuck it out, people like Demi? What do you think is there in Lubbock that everyone's like, okay, this is why they're here?
Gosh, it's so hard to explain. I always tell people, like, you don't get it until you're there. You don't get it unless you get it. I was thinking about this today, actually. And first of all, I wish I would have had the opportunity to be at Tech all 4 years. I think that would have been, I know I would have loved it. I wish that would have been an option for me, but I'm so thankful that I got to finish my career there. I really went there committed to coaches before I was really committed to the school. I didn't know anything about Texas Tech softball. I knew nothing about the school. I knew nothing about Lubbock. I remember at my previous school in Los Angeles, my mom and my dad, we drove from Los Angeles to Lubbock, Texas in like 2 or 3 days. You can imagine what that drive was like, I'm sure.
It's like the same distance from Lubbock to Houston. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
Sadly, I think it might be close.
Right. I remember driving into Lubbock, and I told my mom, our GPS said we were like 15 minutes away or something like that, and we were in the middle of nowhere. I was like, Mom, are you sure we're going
like
the right
in
way?
New Mexico.
Yeah, I'm like, this is not right. And we drove in, and like I said, I was committed to the coaches before I was committed to the school, and luckily I really found that when I left, like, ultimately I was committed to that program and to that school. You really just, I wish I could explain it to everybody, but you just don't get it until you are ingrained in that community, until you are, talking to people in the grocery store who see that you have a Tech softball shirt on. They're like, oh, my granddaughter plays softball. Like, we got to get to a game. And then you see them at the game. I had professors that would show up to games, which, I mean, what a testament to what great, one, education we're getting there. But the people that are, giving you that education ultimately that really care about what you're doing outside the classroom. So Lubbock's the best, man. I'd stay in Lubbock my whole life if I could. I'd love to get back there eventually, but I mean,
Kirby. I know you're sometimes prone to watch our show, Kirby Hellcat. If you're listening, hire Page for something.
It's the best. I love that school. I love the softball program. There's not a sports program or anything in that matter that I wouldn't be honored to be a part of. It's just the best. You guys get it. It's just the best.
Right, it is.
you don't get it unless you get it. There's no other way to explain it.
Well, I think the best way to explain it is the fact that we've talked a little bit on the show about it. You kind of hinted at it, all the things you all went through as a program, and you still love it that much.
Yeah.
I think that's, there's not anything else that needs to be said than that. Like, that's how special it is. So,
yeah.
What would your pitch be to these fans this weekend to come to this regional? Like, I know you've been pitching like crazy on Twitter.
I'm trying so video. Hard. Yeah, I'm really bummed I can't be there. I would love to be able to make the drive. It's not logistically possible, unfortunately. I do have a job.
Adulting is tough.
I do have a job, unfortunately. I mean, this, like, history. First of all, who doesn't want to be a part of history? This is, like, the coolest thing to happen in program history. So why wouldn't you want to be a part of that? There's a huge population of young women, girls playing softball in Lubbock, playing softball in West Texas. I used to give hitting lessons to a little girl out in Rawls. I would drive an hour every week to go give this little girl and some of her friends softball lessons. So, like, there's population out there. There are girls that are playing softball and learning how to play it. What an opportunity to see the best of the best in the country, not just in Lubbock, in the country play softball. That's the best way those little girls are going to learn, is seeing the best play and falling in love with the game. That way you learn best by watching. So what an opportunity for parents to take their little girls to go watch some softball. I think that's my biggest one, because I know there's a lot of kids out there that love softball. I would love to see them in seats.
Yeah. I loved what Glasgow was saying at the watch party, that he's like, I know Lubbock's going to show out because I know they've been falling in love with, like, he was talking to the team. If y'all go back and watch his video, and I actually have a longer video. I don't even think they posted it, but I was there, and he was just telling the team, he's like, they're going to show out for you. They're going to show out for you, and they're going to keep falling in love with you. And when they get out there and they're going to see it. And he said in the press conference something like that, it was so important to get the regional here in year one, because it's going to make it grow so much for next year. Like, there's going to be people that show up to this weekend that maybe haven't seen a game yet. And they're going to be like, oh, softball's kind of cool. Yeah. Like, softball's kind of a cool sport. And I had a chance to ask some of the players that in Oklahoma City in one of the press conferences, because I had gotten 3 messages that day saying, like, I can't believe I've been a hater for so long. Like, this is such a cool sport. Like, the athleticism, the speed. Like, there's all these Texas Tech fans. And I got to ask them about that. And they're like, yeah, no, it's really cool. We can tell that Lubbock's, like, starting to fall in love with the sport, even though all these things. So I think that's kind of the cool part, is, like, softball's always been great. Like, we were following your teams. We were having a hell of a time on this show. We didn't care what the score was. Like, y'all were doing fun things out there. And now it's just a different level. So that's what I'm excited for fans, is to get out there and just fall in love with the sport. It's a really fun sport. And like Paige said, not only do you get to watch it, literally the best players in the country. I mean, you have the best player in the country on your own team, first of all, and Nyjah, and then you have all Americans around her. And there's some really good players on these other teams we'll talk about in a minute as well come to town.
Yeah.
I also think, I also agree with you when you're talking about, the young girls that are really looking up to it, as part of fan engagement. We always are choosing contestants from these travel ball teams. And you're right. Like, we meet people from Midland, Odessa, Amarillo area, these small towns. And, it's really like the Nyjah effect. Like, I was like, oh, wow. So, like, and I see them every single weekend. They're making that, hour and a half, 2-hour drive to go watch softball. And luckily they've got to meet the players, get everything signed. And it's just building this huge community, and it's like we're finally getting that here, but it all couldn't have happened without the foundation of y'all's group, and then the administration being like, okay, we need to keep what we had going, and we can't stop it where it is and go back to the trenches. And I think it's just so great to see this program uplifted now on a new level.
Yeah, I agree. That was getting to come down there for the Oklahoma State series and seeing, like, we walked into Red Raider Outfitter on Broadway, and the first thing that was up there was literally all softball stuff. Like, it was softball shirts, softball, everything softball that Red Raider Outfitter had was up there. And it was like, this wasn't happening. Like, this
couldn't even find softball shirts. I remember Simi would be on the show like, can we find a freaking softball shirt to wear the softball game somewhere?
I worked at Red Raider Outfitter for one summer, guys, and I begged and begged and begged for more shirts, guys. I tried so hard, but I'm stocking shirts. Let's be real. Like, no one's listening to me. but they are
Because
now.
of the softball player.
Right.
Yeah, now everybody wants to know
Yeah.
what to do with softball. That's the funny thing is, which I love it. Like I'm not one of those people that gets bitter about it. I'm like, hey, you're
Oh,
here
yeah.
now. That's great. Like I've had. I'm not going to name names, but like news stations and other people that are like, hey, we'd like to cover the team now. Like, could you give us a quick like rundown on what we should know? And I'm like, yeah, sure. First of all, you can go watch all of our shows. We got you. Right. But second of all, yeah, this is who you should be watching for. And I'm like, I love that. Ask questions. Get to know the team. Like, get into it.
It takes one game. You just got to go to one game and you'll be hooked. Like, bring water because it gets hot.
It will be hot this weekend.
But it will be fun. You will fall in love in one game. And there will be hundreds of little girls running around in whoever's jersey they want to run around in.
Yeah, they even have player jerseys all and T-shirts all out front of the merch stand now. I was like, oh my gosh.
I literally am not kidding, guys. The first Niger jersey I saw with like Texas Tech on it running around the stadium, I was sobbing. Like, I could not believe it.
They have Demi Elder shirts out front now. I don't know if you've seen them.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Yeah.
They're like front row of the merch stand.
Oh my gosh,
they're ahead of Niger now. I mean, they're up there. The Niger ones might be sold out. I don't know, but Demi's the ones you see when you walk up there.
Yeah,
so
I love that. Okay, I've got to get a Demi shirt.
Yeah. What would you tell the fans? Like, we always like to ask the athletes this. We might have asked you when you're on the show 2 years ago, but how do you be like a good rowdy but respectful but rowdy? Because Glasgow's told us multiple times he wants a rowdy crowd because that's what he had at Louisiana. He's trying to create this rowdy kind of community that comes out to games and has a good time, tailgates and does little things. But how, as a player who's been on the field in some rowdy environments, who worked in a rowdy environment up north, we won't mention names, so you've seen it. How do fans do that?
I'm going right back to community. You have to really, like, when I say it's going to take one game, like, it will take you one game to really fall in love with it and buy in. Like, you just have to give your all no matter what is happening in the year. Like, buy in. If you just buy into the program, every game feels like the World Series to you. At least that's what my perspective is as a fan. Every game for me feels like the World Series because you just go have fun. Like, softball's a game of fun. That's literally the whole point of the game, is to go out there, be athletic, give fans a show. I like it. Yeah. Feed off the team too. I feel like, I mean, there's plenty of girls in that dugout. I still see that they're rowdy. I still see they're doing fun stuff. Feed off the girls in the dugout. Feed off what's happening on the field. If you are wrong about something, be confidently wrong and nobody's ever going to question anything. I promise you. If you don't understand the rules of softball, you'll pick it up quickly. Be wrong every once in a while. It's okay. If you're loud,
doesn't stop us.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop you. If you're loud, I'm not stopping you. But yeah, just fall in love with it. Let yourself fall in love with it. It's not hard. It's a really fun sport to participate in and to be a fan of. So just go take the family out, have a weekend, enjoy softball. Just be together. That's the biggest thing, is community. Like, enjoy being around the people you're around. Enjoy being around fans that are supporting the same team as you. We're a rowdy. Texas Tech is a rowdy fan base, guys. We can bring it to softball.
We are.
Yeah, it's not meant to be like a buttoned up. Like,
yeah,
if anything, baseball's the same way. Like, you can really get after players. Again, respectfully, don't do anything crazy. Don't get us in trouble. But go out there and have
do not throw tortillas on the field. That is the only thing that you will get in trouble for.
We need to find a way to incorporate tortillas at the softball game without getting them on the field.
We tried to do it, I think, like, my senior
home
year.
Runs or something?
Yes, we did it with home runs briefly at the beginning of my senior year and got told very quickly that was going to be.
I guess it's too much cleanup.
Yeah, which is fair. Like, we were cleaning it up, but, like, also, if it's wet outside, that gets kind of gross.
Yeah. Maybe with the turf now? No. Anyway, we won't go there. Before we ask the next question, which is a fun one, we're about to, if you want to prepare yourself.
Okay.
We're about to pitch Patrick Mahomes, and we'll let you do it as the Chiefs fan, and we'll throw in our 2 cents. But before we do that, Tyler, we were just talking about tailgating. Tyler was talking before we got on here. Let the people know, if you can share, they're doing some sort of tailgating event, I think, before the games this weekend. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know the whole details on it, but I have been told that I believe there will be, stay tuned, but I think there will be a tailgate, like Texas Tech specific, obviously, since we're hosting all these teams, a Texas Tech specific tailgate at the Rock. It'll be going on all weekend. I've told there'll be like balloons so you can see where it is. I don't know all the details, but yeah, that's like a sneak peek. So
Let's go.
I'm sure we'll be giving out like, you can get all your tech stuff, all your tech signs, so that way, when we travel over to Tallahassee the following weekend and in Oklahoma City, you have everything ready to go. Posters, all of it. So yeah, it should be fun. So that's just a sneak peek.
Love that. And you can tailgate yourself.
Buy into the tailgates, because when you buy into the tailgates the first time it happens, that tells people to do it next year. If you like something right now, buy into it now, because when next year comes around, we're going to want more tailgates, guys. Tailgates are fun.
That's the goal. And Glasgow's going to get it to happen, because that's what they did at Louisiana. He's talked to us about it on the show. He's talked to me about it multiple times. He wants that. It's a party at every one of their games in Louisiana.
Yeah.
They do tailgating. It's a packed house. He wants that to be here, and I believe it will be here. I just don't think our fans know you can tailgate yet.
Yeah.
And I'm you can tailgate for softball. They do it at soccer. Like, we need to get, there's a group of fans that tailgate for every soccer game. I'm like, you need to mosey on over in the spring and do it for softball. But yeah, you're right. Once you do it once. So while there is a tailgate happening, some sort of organized one, doesn't stop you from bringing your own grill. You can tailgate as well. Yeah. Join the big tailgate with your own tailgate and have a good time. Because there'll be other games going on, especially Saturday, that aren't the Texas Tech game.
Right.
Yeah, you can have a nice burger while watching, Mississippi State, Washington. You can, be chilling, your drinks, everything. Well, not inside the stadium, but you know what I mean.
Outside the stadium, yeah.
Yes.
They do have alcohol in the stadium. That is the other question we get quite often.
Yes.
Do you sell alcohol at the softball game?
Yeah, if y'all want to know, we do.
They do. All right. So we're trying to get Patrick Mahomes to show up to this.
Yes.
The likelihood is, I don't want to say low, because it's Patrick Mahomes and he just rolls through at Texas Tech sporting events all the time. I just don't know what his mini camp schedule is right now. I know football's starting, but if the guy is free and he's like listening to Singing Scarlet, he did retweet a Singing Scarlet tweet today, so that was a big moment for us.
Was it y'all's tweet?
He did. It was about it was Nija talking, so it was really Nija, but it was our tweet.
Yeah.
So he knows we exist. So if he's watching the show now, what would you tell him, Paige, to get this man to Lubbock, maybe throw out the first pitch, whatever he wants to do to get the crowd going crazy?
Well, if we want to build a softball program and we want butts in seats, I can tell you that Pat Mahomes throwing out the first pitch is a great marketing tactic to get butts in seats and break a couple attendance records.
We'd have these people sitting in the parking lot.
Yes. Let's bring in more outfield bleachers for that. Let's buy into the program, Patrick. I'm a Kansas City girl, born and raised, Chiefs fan for life. And I am talking Chiefs fan during the years it was hard.
Ooh,
Been there before with the Chiefs, softball, everything. I have stuck by this team. I am begging you, let's get people in seats, show everyone what softball looks like in Lubbock, Texas, win a regional, go win a super, get to the Women's College World Series. And it's all because Pat Mahomes throws out the first pitch, and there's thousands of fans there screaming for a Texas Tech softball win.
That's right. And I do feel confident he will show up in Oklahoma City if they make it. When they make it that far, he'll be there.
Yeah.
But why not start the run and be in Lubbock as well?
Get a warm up in.
Najee Kennedy is one of his athletes. You got to come support your people.
Kansas girl again, by the way. I know the Chiefs are in Missouri, but she's
a big Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
There's I don't know if this story's ever been told, but there's an anecdote to her recruiting story where he called her on her visit while she was at Texas Tech.
Shut your mouth, really? That's crazy.
I don't know if that's been public knowledge, but it had happened.
That's crazy.
So they're besties.
Call, Pat.
Najee, call him back.
Come on, get that number saved. You saved that number and you know it, Najee.
Oh, she absolutely did.
Even if you didn't tell anyone you saved it, you saved it.
And it's in your phone. I would tell everybody. It's like that question of who's the most famous person in your phone. She gets to say Patrick Mahomes.
Right. I get to say, I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you.
The owners of the bananas are probably mine because I used to work with them. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Tyler, what is
I
your
don't
pitch?
know.
You're the marketing student here.
Yeah, come on, marketing.
Oh, okay, yeah. My pitch
He has the
is,
best
y'all need
pitches.
to be there. I'm gonna try. Y'all need to be there and pack the rock. This team has been through it all, and you Texas Tech fans, y'all love a winning program. Y'all need to get out there and support this team Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think that this is a very crucial point in our program. This team is being projected to maybe even make it all the way to Oklahoma City, and you don't want to be the one that said, "Damn, I wish I was there for the regional." Because I was lame and I didn't want to go. So don't be the one that says that. You need to be there, get in the seats, you need to be loud, fill that outfield section up. Our attendance record's 2,122. I tried to get y'all to break it against Arizona State. Y'all decided not to, and the weather decided not to. Y'all have your one opportunity right now. We need to break it every single day. I'm telling you, tickets, I don't know. I'm not going to speak on them, but they should not turn you away. If you have to stand, stand. Bring a chair, maybe. I don't know if they allow that, but you know what? Sit on top of the dugout. Sit in the dugout. No, don't actually do that. But if you want to, we have room. We have space. We'll make space for you. So please, please pack the rock.
I do
I
not work for
don't think
ticketing.
they're going to turn people away.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't work for ticketing, but they're not turning people away. I'm telling you that right now.
No,
I'm
yes.
so sorry to the person that runs ticketing for softball, but I've just decided for you that people aren't getting turned away from this. Let's do this
Let's
thing.
build more stands
Yes,
if
let's
needed
do it.
on the spot.
Yeah.
They could do
Remember,
it.
y'all park in the hospital if the Rocky Johnson lot is full. Like, y'all just park at the hospital and hike over here. Like, bring some water, you know.
Get there early because
Okay.
parking when it's crowded can get a little hairy, but it's not too bad. Just park across the street at the hospital.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not too bad.
Figure it out, people.
Figure it out. And I don't quote me on this because I don't know what the tickets are going to be when they're actually on sale. But I, as a season ticket holder, I got the thing earlier, and I swear it was very affordable. It was like $80 for the whole weekend.
Oh,
we
for
couldn't
all
buy
day?
separate. Yeah, we couldn't buy separate
Oh,
tickets yet.
yeah.
You could only reserve for the whole thing. And I was like, "Am I reading this correct?" Every time, and they're like, "No, this is for every game." So I don't know if that's only for season ticket holders, and it's going to be different once they go on sale single game, but. That's affordable to me.
Yeah.
For all that's because you're getting
That's a lot
not
of
just Texas Tech
softball.
games. So
Yeah.
you can go watch the other ones, and there's some cool stories in those. So that's our pitch, y'all. Be there. Speaking of the cool stories, how about these matchups? Do you know much about Brown, Paige?
I do.
I know they got a good pitcher. Because all mid-major teams that make it this far have a good pitcher.
Yes.
But what do you know about Brown, who Texas Tech plays at 4:30 on Friday? Again, be there, y'all.
What I know about Brown after some good research today,
Yes,
I put my SID hat on today.
Let's go.
Jumped into the stats page of the schools pages. So I know that they upset Princeton to win the Ivy. Princeton was the number 1 ranked seed, and Brown went and upset them in their conference tournament to get the automatic qualifier. They have a team batting average of 268. So I think if we have some pitchers go in with really determined mindsets and have done their homework, I like our odds there.
Do you think, here's your question, it's really hard to predict as someone that's been asked this every single week for weeks now, who's Jerry's going to start. It's impossible to predict.
Yeah.
But do you think he will actually not start Nyjah knowing that there's going to be potentially a big crowd? Or you think he'll just go with Chloe for... If Chloe's very capable, but
yeah, absolutely.
the crowd part of it, I'm like, oh, what?
If I'm a head coach, that's so hard because I hate putting my coaching hat on, because my coaching hat says I go and start probably Chloe and maybe have Nyjah ready for relief. But Sam's also capable to relieve, so I could see either one of them. I could see them both being warm to go into relief. But also on the flip side, Mississippi State's seen Nyjah this year, so if her playing for game 2, like, I don't know, that's hard. This is why I'm not a college softball coach, is I can't make those decisions.
Well, also, it's really hard to predict what Jerry Glasgow's going to do anyway.
Right.
He's good because he's so... I don't think the other team is going to know.
Yeah.
I personally think maybe we'll see Nyjah for like 2 innings just because to get her feet wet, and then if we're doing well, take her out.
Yeah, I like that too.
I don't know. But yeah, I think
she's
Chloe
capable
will do
to
work for
pitch
sure. But anyway,
2 innings and be good. So
preview.
I'll be interested to see what happens there. Yeah, they do have a pretty decent pitcher. They've got one pitcher that's pitched pretty much the entire year, 180 innings. Alexis, I can't even try with this last name.
I saw it earlier.
Guevara, maybe?
Guevara, yeah.
We're gonna try that.
I think
Yeah.
Tyler looked her up and she hasn't played any power competition, but
Mhm.
They have not played
she
power
also hasn't had the
competition all year.
chance to do
Yeah,
it,
they
so.
have the one notable win I have for them was they had a win over Boston University. That's a pretty decent program, in and out of the rankings most of the time. So that's the one that I have, other than their upset against Princeton. But everyone's got them, equal chance to make a automatic qualifier. So they earned the right to be here. I'll be interested to see how they play. Ivy Leagues are scrappy teams.
They are.
I have never taken an Ivy League team lightly.
We get them here a lot too for soccer.
We do. Yeah,
and
we
they
do.
always Princeton always goes to penalty kicks.
No, stressful.
They're always insane games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they won't come in here scared. They'll probably come in here nothing to lose kind of attitude.
Yeah.
Work. But hopefully we'll get that done. And then we'll play, if we beat Brown, we'll play the winner of Mississippi State, who we lost to in game 2 of the season. Eons ago. We're completely speaking of someone that follows the team, completely different team. I'm sure they are a little bit as well. But Demi was in shorts and a boot in that game. We're 22-5 or 22-3 since she's returned.
Yeah.
All these things are going on. Our team didn't really even know each other yet. It was a whole thing. So we're different. I'm sure they're different as well, but it was a close game. I think an extra inning game, maybe 8 innings.
It was, yes, 8 innings, I believe.
We lost their pitcher, Chafin. Is that how you say it?
Yes, Raylan Chapin, I believe. Yeah.
Great game. Also, great story, y'all. I love stories. She beat cancer in the fall. And
I did not know this part of the story.
Yeah, go look it up. She in the fall or in the off season, she overcame cancer of some kind. I don't remember what. And was pitching against us in February and threw an 8-inning dominating game against us. So I was the whole time I'm I can't even be mad about this because this is amazing. Because that was her first game of the year was against us, and she did that after all that. So anyway, so that's a good storyline for her. She's great. And then obviously Washington on the other side. Storyline is Alana Johnson's former team. Some players on that team have seen Nyjah Kennedy if they match up, but they also have almost a completely different team.
Yeah.
So I don't really know how many have actually faced her, but it is Alana's old team. So there's a storyline there. But what do y'all got? I know y'all looked up the stats.
What you got, Tyler? I'll let you start.
Okay, well, with Washington, I'll do Washington. So Washington, I can't do Mississippi State because that game put me in a depressive state of mind. You can ask Shelby.
I'm like, Tyler, stickball me. You gotta calm down.
Tyler,
It's a long year. It's a long year.
I didn't think Nyjah could lose. I was like, dang, really, we're gonna start off.
He was like, we're gonna be terrible. I was like, Tyler, it's game 2.
Tyler, I want you to know that it's not you as a fan. It's every single person that's ever played softball feels that way. So you are
right. But yeah, so but with Washington, I think the biggest name that I guess if they somehow or if they will end up beating Mississippi State, I think Alexis DeBoer, I don't know how to say her name. Yeah. She's the Alabama football head coach's daughter. Leads the team in batting average at a 369. It looks like she has
20 home runs. I wrote that down earlier.
Yes, 20 home runs on the year. Crazy stat. And yeah, they're Washington. They are a decent hitting team. They have another person named Jaden Glab that's 316. I will say though that all of these teams in the tournament, even Shelby shared a graphic thing that they showed today. This region is the worst offense. So it's going to be a lot of
she said 260 earlier or something. I think Brown's bringing that down a lot. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
But we do have the lowest batting average.
We do, because then their third person is batting at looks like a 296. So again, we have a lot more people.
Yeah, Washington's team batting average I have as a 286. So again, I think this when the regions first came out, I was a little scared. I got scared for a second, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. So did everybody else.
Literally had a freak out.
Right. But looking at everything on paper, I feel really confident. I feel good about this regional. I think where other teams might not be as strong, I think our strong suits kind of go against that. So I feel really good. I feel confident.
Yeah, the only thing Washington has going for them that is mildly concerning is the fact that they have a couple of home run hitters, and it's Lubbock. But
yeah.
They also have a pitcher that's played literally almost every game. She's 30-17 on the year and has a 2.16 ERA.
Yes.
They also have Stevie Hansen on that team, don't they?
Yes,
Transfer from
Hanson,
Oregon.
yep.
Yes.
275
Yep, they have
ERA
Yeah.
on the season.
Yes, it looks like she's only played in 9 games, or started, I guess, in 9 games. But yeah, definitely they have some threats on the pitching end for sure.
Yeah.
Hitters just have to hit, basically. Be a
Be
hitter.
us. Be us.
Yeah, that's the thing. If Tech plays how they're supposed to play, and they are their true or authentic selves, I feel really good. I feel confident in the matchups.
So,
Yeah. Texas Tech looked the best that I've seen them over a 3-day span.
Yeah, I think
Just
they're hitting
past 3 days.
stride when they should be.
Mm-hmm. It felt like almost that there was like I don't know, maybe it's because it's the postseason and they've had so much expectation and pressure on them to get here as a team. There was a different vibe around them in
Good.
Oklahoma City
Yeah.
where they just felt like they were like almost like looser and had more energy to them. After the first game, especially the second 2 games, it was like a little bit, it felt like a different team out there a little bit, just being around them. I don't know. It was different.
Yeah.
I liked it. I'm hoping it's the, hey, we finally made it, y'all. This is
Yeah.
what we've been working for.
That's what I was
vibes.
going to say. I was like, I hope that they hit the, okay, we're good. We're going to get selected no matter what at this point. So like, let's just play softball. And I think mindset wise as a player, when you're able to just go out there and play your authentic softball and play how you've prepared, that's going to be the best softball you play. So I think that's kind of where they're at right now, or so it seems as an outsider looking in.
Yeah, that's all I can give you. But yeah, just being around them up there this week, it was different. I don't know, different vibe. Even Nyjah had a different look in her eye in that last game for
She
sure.
was stomping harder this weekend.
I was like, I think we finally got to see championship game Nyjah for the first time, because sometimes I don't want to say bored out there, but like sometimes she's just doing what she does, but there is something different. So I'm excited to see postseason Nyjah in person. That's going to be fun. Do y'all have any notes on Mississippi State other than the pitcher that I brought up earlier before we move into what's next? If we missed anything, don't want to preparation.
Yeah, I have notes about their pitcher, Raylan. She's a stud, 21-9 on the year. She has wins against Texas, Ole Miss, Alabama, Nebraska. Those are all not only tournament teams, but pretty great programs to get wins against. 187 strikeouts on the year. That's really good. I still like where Tech sits there. They do hit the long ball pretty well. So that's kind of the one spot that the team will need to hone in on, is watching that long ball, especially in Lubbock, because it is easy to hit the ball out in Lubbock.
Yeah, I was listening to a game. What game was it? We were on the road. Maybe BYU game. Yeah, because it was on ESPNU, so it was the national ESPN people, and they were like, yeah, Nyjah's ERA is just better on the road than it is in Lubbock. She's just a big game pitcher that way. She likes to step up in their away crowds. And I was like, you've never been to Lubbock, have you?
Yeah.
You've never been to Lubbock.
No.
Like, she has had a couple of home runs hit off of her this year where it was like, oh, that's a pop-up, and then it just keeps going. I was like, oh, welcome to Lubbock, Nyjah. Sorry. But on the flip side, our hitters have hit quite a few of those.
Something about that Lubbock wind. It is an anomaly. I have never seen something like it. And every time I go back, I'm like, surely like I'm making it up how windy it is. And every time I'm like, nope, it's still the same. I'll never forget my junior year. We played. This is like the nightmare game. Like, I will never forget this one. And we won. And Kendall Fritz also threw either a no-hitter or a perfect game. I can't remember. But we were playing against another team in like a preseason tournament. And it was over 60-mile-an-hour winds. It was literally to the point where, like, whatever the NCAA rule is about, like, how fast the wind is blowing to where we delay a game, we were at that point, and both coaches had to basically like mutually agree to play the game despite
just blame the tornado. It's fine.
Yeah. And I got thrown out into left field, which I cannot explain it, but the wind in left field at that park is different than center and right field. I would rather play either one of those over left field any day.
Sorry, Demi.
Yeah.
I know.
So sorry. I got thrown out into left field late in that game, like in the 5th inning. And the whole time, like, I know that Kendall was throwing a perfect game. And in your mind, like, you try so hard to not, because I mean, if you think that way, the ball's going to come find you. But oh my gosh, I've never prayed harder for a ball to not get popped up in the air. And I remember one ball did, and it was like the 7th inning, the second out or something like that. And I was literally the hardest I've ever prayed in my life.
Fun video of this.
I know. I wish it was
probably wasn't streamed if it was like preseason. I don't know. Were they streaming?
I think all the games were streamed that year. They were all ESPN Plus games, I think. If I went back and looked, I could tell you what game it was, but it was the craziest thing I've ever. It was so hazy and like dusty, you could barely see home plate. It was crazy. I don't know why we played that game.
You said you were here in the fall. You said for alumni weekend, right?
Yep.
And you got to maybe talk with Glasgow a little bit. I remember talking with Glasgow, and he was like skeptical because we had been telling him about Lubbock wind and how the ball flies, and they hit one home run in fall ball. And he was starting to get concerned. That he was like, I think my team is just like not going to hit home runs this year. It was like Naja hit a home run. I was like, no, you got to wait till spring, like, because the wind was blowing. It was like blowing the opposite way in the fall. I was like, it's blowing everything in. And they're not the biggest home run hitting team, but they hit enough. And then they got to the season, and now they're hitting home runs. So it was funny. He's like, I get it now. I'm like, yeah. It goes both ways, though, because other teams hit them, too.
Hearing people, like, experience Lubbock for the first time. Like, we had a bunch of friends drive up with us to the Oklahoma State series in March, and we told them all, we're like, hey, you know, if you have allergies, bring allergy pills. Like, if you, like, have any indication of a sniffle, like, take an allergy pill. And sure enough, we get up there and all our friends are like, oh, you guys meant it. Like, you were very serious about this. This is the craziest weather I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah, I moved back to Lubbock after 10 years just a couple months ago. And the first week I was here, we had 3 of the worst dust storms. I was like, were they always this bad, or are these like really bad? And then like 2 weeks ago, I got back from covering a softball game, got back to my house. It was beautiful outside when I walked in my house. And then 5 minutes later, it's hailing, like nickel size hail for like 10 minutes. I was like, what? It was, what? And then it was back to blue skies. It's wild. It's wild stuff out here.
I'm derailing again, but I think it was my junior year. We went on some like midweek trip. So we were coming back like very quickly. It was like a one night come back. I foolishly left my windows cracked on my car a little bit. And that happened to be the same weekend that we had like the biggest dust storm of the season. So I came back to my inside of my car, just
no.
Oh, it was that car has died.
It's never recovered.
But I'm not kidding, guys. I cleaned that thing so thoroughly after that, and I was still like, there were places I didn't even know dust could get in cars. Like the AC, literally when I turned the AC on, just blew. No. It was so bad. It was that you do it one time and you never do it again.
Never do it again. But other than that, Lubbock's great.
Yes.
Legit. I moved back here. Everyone's like, why you moved to Lubbock? I'm like, you don't understand it. It's like what Paige was saying. It's totally worth it.
The only qualm is the dust. That is
I lived in hurricane country for 10 years. I'd much rather deal with dust storms.
Yeah.
To be honest. So it's not too bad. All right. Any last thoughts on your preview, Tyler, before we get into recapping what the fun was in OKC?
Mississippi State, they're just a decent hitting team. I mean, they can hit pretty good. They're batting at a 313, and then they do have a hitter that's hitting at 461, Sierra Sacco. She's pretty good. Yeah, she's very good. Really good. Basically, I think that what we'll have to do is we're just going to have to do what we've done in the Big 12 tournament is you're just going to have to come off strong, and you're going to have to hit off of their pitcher, Chafin, whatever it is, because that's how you're going to be able to get yourself in the game. I felt like the last time it was kind of like we didn't know, okay, like we're going to rely on Naja too much. And it's like Naja will keep you in any game.
Yeah.
You just have to be able to hit. You have to be a hitter. You have to hit. You have to be confident on it. You know, listen to Alatara and Kayla's, hitting tips or whatever, Coach Glasgow's. You sit next to home dugout guys this weekend, like you'll hear, like you'll never think like, oh, you need to hit the top of it or foul it. Like just keep fouling it and get what you want. Like you never thought of it. But yeah, definitely you're just going to have to start off strong, and then Naja can just cruise her way to victory.
Speaking of Naja, I, again, put my SID cap on for this one, guys. I went through Naja's last now 3 years of seasons. She is only, and I bring this up since we had the early loss to Mississippi State in this season, in her career in the same season, Nyjah has only lost to a team she's played twice, 3 times, and 2 of those teams were at the Women's College World Series. So Oklahoma and Texas were both obviously postseason in Oklahoma City, and then UCLA, I think maybe her sophomore year or something like that.
Yeah.
So I like those odds. That's kind of a crazy.
I like those odds.
Yeah, and she's
Thanks
looking
for picking that up.
She's looking real healthy, which I guess she was. I don't know if she was healthy. I don't know. We know she got injured in the UNT game.
Yeah.
That's documented, and she hasn't been healthy for a while. She'll have a story to tell someday. What she's gone through. She's a warrior, but she's finally healthy now, and you can see it. But Glasgow said in a press conference, one of them, they all run together over the last few days, that she is finally. He got to see her at 100% healthy for the first time this past weekend. So I'm like, was she a little bit dinged up to start the year? What does that mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe she wasn't 100% in that game either. But I agree. We're just a very different team. I'm sure Mississippi State has the same thing. But again, Demi wasn't in the lineup, and this team, the whole season kind of changed when she got out there. And there were some other people, and they just didn't quite trust each other yet. Yeah. And now they do. So let's get into what happened in Oklahoma City. So we have some highlights we're going to show you. I have the box scores pulled up, but Tyler probably does as well. I'm guessing that's what Tyler does. You go, or did I put you on the spot? I got them pulled up if you didn't. Tyler's in the middle of finals, so he might be slightly off his game.
Give him grace.
Yeah, we give him grace. So I was up there, but y'all got to watch on TV, so y'all might have different perspectives than me because I always miss some things when I'm not watching on TV, so we can both run through it. But we'll just switch on over here to the highlights, and we'll show the Baylor highlights. We won this game 4-0. It was a pitcher's duel until about the 4th inning, where we broke up their no-hitter. Nyjah carries a perfect game, mind you, into the 6th inning of this game. And the last perfect game was at the Big 12 tournament. It was in 2005. It was Kat Osterman. It was a long time ago, which ironically, she was calling the game. So that would have been cool. But anyway, both pitchers were doing the thing. The only little anecdote I have from this is right before the 4th inning, Glasgow pulled the team into a huddle, and he said something because Glasgow does. I don't know what he said. Well, actually, I do because I asked him after the game. I can tell you that. Typical Glasgow answer. And the team just started laughing as he walked away. And then they went out there, and Alexa, we didn't score that inning, but Alexa hit that rocket, broke up the no-hitter, and Alana hit a rocket right after that, and they caught it. And then the next inning is when we broke through. I asked Glasgow after the game, hey, I noticed this. What did you say in that huddle? I noticed they were laughing afterwards, and the players just started laughing. I was like, all right, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. But then they finally he said something about, he just told them they were playing little church girls sitting on a front pew or something. Just a typical Glasgow answer. It's on YouTube somewhere. You can find the press conference. And that got them all to laugh. But then he said it's probably just, he's like, I think it was more about Alexa going out there and getting a good at bat than it was anything I said. But it loosened them up, and then the 5th inning came, and you'll see it in the highlights. The 5th inning is also when we had the Meyer almost ran down Demi play.
Yes.
On the inside the park, little league inside the park home run. And what apparently they didn't show on TV was that Glasgow held Demi up on that play, because I've had to explain this to 3 people.
Oh.
Demi's not slow. We all know this.
Oh.
But the ball obviously got past the right fielder. Well, he thought she was about to field it, so he's holding Demi up. And so she's stopping to go back to second base. And for some reason, they didn't show this on the broadcast. But this is what happened. This is why this scenario happened. She's turns around, running back to the base. And right when she turns around is when the ball gets past her. And now Glasgow's yelling at her, turn back around. And then Maya's on top of her. So then she had to sprint. That's how that whole situation happened. And then they're making fun of Demi at home plate. And the team's just having a good time with it like they do, which I love. Vibes. But Alexa Linglier said after the game that she thought that was a good thing, because it loosened them up, and she felt like they started playing looser and remembered. I think Nyjah said it reminded us that it's a kids' game after all. And I don't know. I'm just saying the next day they went out and won 18-0.
Right.
So I'm just saying, things to watch. That's my perspective of being there in person, and y'all can give your perspective as we watch the highlights. But just talk over it. We'll turn the volume down. Paige,
okay.
Tyler, anything you want to say? Go for it. I think this has both teams' highlights in it. Oh. Tyler's missing. He's back.
There we go. You missed some great pitches, Tyler.
Yeah. You missed Nyjah being Nyjah.
Nyjah had 13 strikeouts in this game.
She was
So
cooking.
Crazy. And Baylor's pitcher had 0. So it just puts it in perspective.
Hitting. Walker's not much of a strikeout pitcher.
Her drop ball is so incredible. It's so much fun to watch her throw a drop ball.
Everything.
Yeah, I mean, is there? I assume.
Did you ever play against Nyjah you were on the West Coast for a bit?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I gotta really put my math hat on. She was not at Stanford until I got to Tech, so she got to Stanford my junior year. So now I never did get to play against her. I wish though.
You need to go do it in the fall. Just get out there, celebrity shot.
Yeah, for sure, Shelby. I'll be sure to do that.
Yeah, you fare better than I would. Ugh. Just the change of speeds and then the movement is just nasty.
That was one thing I mentioned to people I was watching the game with the other day was her like drop off from her changeup to her fastball or drop ball, whatever any pitch you throw in there that's so hard to adjust to.
Yeah, it's going to be packed this weekend, so you might not be able to pick where you want to sit unless you get there early. But sit behind home plate if you can, at least for an inning, and watch the movement. See that glass behind
the media well?
I was down there, and I posted a video on Twitter, and you can go watch it, and you can kind of see that perspective of how it looks to hit against her, and the movement is...
It's absurd.
I would just cry and walk back to the dugout. I consider myself an athlete, but I'd be like, hell no. Not today. Demi, doing what Demi does.
Yep. Cause chaos.
There we go.
Chaos and chaos. She's crazy like that. I can't explain it. Just always makes things happen.
She's just she brings a chaotic energy, so I think that's what it is.
That's
like just her persona is chaotic, so.
Okay, that's the best way we can explain it. I think when her first game back, I was like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but every time Demi's at the plate in a big moment, something good happens. Right. It might not be flashy, like the home run that she hit to win the Big 12. That's pretty flashy. Sometimes it's that, where they just can't make the play, or she bunts it, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then talk about chaotic. See, right there, they don't show it on the broadcast, but in this moment, she's being told to go back to second, y'all.
Oh
I just want to give Demi a break, because a lot of people don't know that. They think that she legit almost got ran down, but she got told to go back to second, and then Maya's like, go! And she turns around. So right here, Maya's yelling at her. And then Maya has to slow down to a jog. And then Logan is just...
Oh my gosh. Demi, I know she was tired.
Demi.
Yeah, right there, I know she was tired.
Yeah, she ran the bases twice, basically.
Good Lord, Demi. That's such a thing, like something that would happen to her. It's
it was hilarious. I loved it, though. The whole team was like getting after her, and she was the coaches, everybody. It really did seem to loosen them up.
Demi's one to dish it out usually, so I'm glad that someone was dishing it back to her. That's funny.
That's exactly what Alexis said in the post game. She's like, she's usually the one that's like in the middle of that and making cracking jokes and giving it to us. So it was fun that we got to do it back to her. I think it's got a little bit. Oh, speaking of Demi, here we go.
Yeah, this was awesome. Oh my gosh, I was so excited watching that one.
She seems like we haven't seen postseason Demi yet, but she was kind of bringing it in this. She had 3 diving catches out there in left field.
She's a heck of an outfielder. She's a big little thing.
Yeah, I'd like to ask her is when she finally felt healthy, because I think she's gotten healthier as the season's gone on.
Yeah, I would agree. Talking to her, she seems to only have gone up.
So that was Baylor. Got it done. 4-0. Vibes were pretty good after that game because of that Maya and Demi moment, but I think they were a little bit frustrated with the bats until it broke out. But Nyjah said after this game, because every time, we don't score 20 runs. Mm-hmm. All people ask in press conferences is like, how do you feel about the offense? And I think Nyjah was just like, I trust my offense is basically what she said. She's like, I go out there knowing it might take us a couple times through the lineup, but I trust them. Our lineup's really good, and I knew they were going to come through. So I think that's good to hear. I like when she says that, because I don't know why that's the talking point. Maybe, I guess that's just what people say, Paige.
Yeah, everyone wants a team that's going to go out and bash 20 home runs, and I think the game has progressed. Because I think that's how the game used to be, was people were going out and hitting a bajillion home runs every game, and that's just our pitching, the science behind it, the technique behind it has kind of advanced. So I think we're slowly evolving into a different part of the game. So when people don't see what they want to see or are used to seeing, they're like, what's wrong? Like, what's broken? But nothing's broken, guys. Pitching is just really, really good now. Yeah,
and I also think it's taken our fans a little bit to adjust, because we kind of had where we were hitting all the year you were here, they broke the home run record. Speaking of Demi, she did that. and we were used to like 15 to 13 games, and now it's like 4-0.
Yeah.
How dare they not hit the ball more? I'm like,
Right.
okay. And I say that, and then the next game we're about to talk about, but
18-0.
they scored 18 runs in this game. I'm checking the box score. I don't think we missed anything from Baylor. Maya Davis was 1 for 3 with an RBI. Logan Holloman, we talked about her earlier. She had a big moment in this game. 1 for 1. She came in, had typical slap hit, and got Michaela Garcia around to third. First and third for Demi, who came up, and then she did that play we saw. So shout out to Logan. She came in and did her job in this for sure. And then Nyjah Kennedy was just spectacular. 1 hit allowed, 6 2/3, 13 strikeouts, no walks, 1 hit. And Lauren Johnson dove out, like full extension dove for it, trying. She did her best for her roommate there, trying to give her the perfect game, but just missed it. But that was hype. And then just Nyjah. It was like it didn't even happen. Like, didn't even mention it afterwards. So it was like, you just almost threw a perfect game, but whatever. Then we moved into Arizona State. We're talking about how you don't have 25 runs in a game anymore. Well, in this game...
I know, bite my tongue.
Yeah, bite your tongue. Let's do it all the time. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think it starts in like the second inning. They might have gotten through 1 clean inning, and then we scored 3, and then we scored 6, and then we scored 6 again, or something craziness. 11 in 1 inning in this. All sorts of records were broken, but the big one was Texas Tech scored the most runs in a single game in Big 12 tournament history, beating old Xerox U Oklahoma State. I'll leave it there. They had
the previous record. What was it?
17-2. So they didn't have a shutout either. Ours was a shutout. Big time.
Yeah.
We'll watch the highlights. There's a lot of highlights. This highlight package is long because, again, we have 18 runs in this. And then we'll run through the box score after that. But enjoy, y'all. Yes, Nyjah started this game as well. She pitched in all 3 games. She was quite dominant in this one as well in her, I don't know, 2 innings that she had? 3 innings?
She looked incredible all 3 games. Like, she didn't look like she had any burners turned off. So that's a really positive outlook for postseason.
I agree.
Yeah, I know teams are stressing out. They're like, they don't want to be put in our region.
And she can hit. Well, no. That's her first RBI at Devon Park. Fun facts. Their little celebration.
Sorry, is that? Yeah. First of all,
yeah.
I almost passed out when she did that.
Slide by a pitcher, because I'm going to tell you what,
Athlete.
it is hard to get a pitcher to slide and do it well to where you're not scared they're going to hurt themselves. That was one of the best slides I've ever seen, not even by a pitcher, but by a base runner. So props to Nyjah.
Let's go.
Yes.
Go.
No, she's an athlete. Have you seen those diving catches she's made out of the circle? Like 3
Right.
How do we give her a gold glove? She has no errors.
Literally.
I haven't seen a pitcher this year make as good of plays that I've seen her make 3 times.
Yeah.
With us. Now, I don't watch all their games, but...
Oh, yeah, true.
Michaela. Reagan. Oh, that was Reagan. Good job, Reagan. She got to start in this game again because Alexa Langoliers was sick. And Reagan, I think, went like 3 for 4 or something.
This was the biggest story. Haley Toney going on a 7-game drought and then just was like elite.
Sorry.
Elite with the hitting. Like elite.
Yeah, that was a really cool moment. I think I was in that media bay down there, and Toney came into this game on like a 7-game hitless streak or something. She's really been struggling. I really haven't paid attention just because she's so good in defense. Like, of course I know she hasn't been hitting like she was earlier, but I didn't realize it was 7 games because I looked at it after the game. She gets that hit. There's changing pitchers, maybe. I'm not sure. There was a break in the action. So I don't know if it was on commercial or y'all got to see this too, but she comes over the dugout in this break, and the whole team came out there to like hype Haley up because they were so happy that she got a hit. And then this happens. I don't know if they show up, but she leaves early. They didn't show up, but she left early to take away that triple from Maya. Remember, it should have been 4-0 at the end of that inning, but I guess Haley left early. Y'all saw the replay. I never saw the replay, but that's what they said. They reviewed it. And so she's like super down on herself, like a freshman, and she's like down. And Glasgow just goes up to her and says, "Haley, you got to hit. That's all that matters. Just go out there and make up for it." She goes out there in this inning. They get 3 outs. She's still down on herself coming back to the dugout, and like there's like 3 or 4 players like, "Haley, you gotta hit. That's all that matters." And she's like, okay. And then she goes on to get 3 more hits in the game. So it's just a little bit about the team. Like they're really supportive of each other.
Have another opportunity.
Yeah, it's the 3rd inning and we only have 3 runs. What happened? Maya Davis is what happened. How about her power? She had like 1 career home run coming into the season. I think that's her 6th.
I know. This is
Wow.
crazy. If Maya Davis becomes like that home run power hitter that she's becoming, we're about to be the most dangerous team in college softball.
For sure.
On both sides.
Ooh, Demi.
There we go.
Doing her job. Oh.
I love it. Chaos on the base paths. That's how you win games, guys.
We do have a lot of chaos.
I
Good and
love
bad, but it works. And then we just had like 5,000 hits up the middle in this inning. I swear that's what every time I looked up, someone was hitting the ball up the middle. We scored 11 runs in this inning against 2 different pitchers, I believe. Reagan had a great game in this as well. Pull it up well. Reagan Jennings was 3 for 3 with 3 runs scored, 2 RBI, and a stolen base. Look, like I said, it was up the middle over and over again. Jennings she slides every time she scores.
I love
She
it.
just likes to slide. I love it.
Yeah, I love it. I would rather that than a girl that doesn't slide when it's close.
Speaking
There we
of
go.
sliding,
Yeah.
Maya Davis is so fast. Did she just score from second on that? I don't even know if I was paying attention. That was great.
Texas Tech showing us exactly why now. Murphy.
Yep, that's not
Oh.
good.
The force got away from her.
No hesitation.
Another error.
Got up real quick.
Production this inning for
Good
Texas
damn.
Tech.
Get it out of your system.
Whew, solid. Alana Johnson just quietly goes about her business. I really like her.
2 more runs.
She has no emotion.
This poor outfield, they are getting obliterated.
I really felt bad for them too. And to be clear, they didn't pitch Kinsey Brown in this.
Right.
Still
Those
think
are
we would
tough
have
games
won,
as an outfielder.
but they didn't pitch her.
That is the biggest
Haley Tony.
hit against them at possibly
I mean, you talked about Maya hitting home runs, making us dangerous. If Haley Tony is hitting like this again, going in the postseason, we're a completely different team.
For sure.
element that the committee considers.
Yeah, Tony went 3 for 3, had 4 RBIs, 2 runs.
She got to do the post-game press conference too, which was cool because she hasn't done that all year. Always nice when you get a freshman down there.
Davis will score.
She basically said they asked her like how she broke out of it, and she's like, "Oh, just trusting the process, and my teammates have always had my back." And it was just adorable.
Coach Glasgow.
She was very happy though.
Up Elder at third.
Sam looked good in this too.
And that'll do it.
It was good to see her get out there.
I like
What-
Sam. She shows a lot of potential. I'm
I was gonna
excited
say,
to
what do you
watch
see in
her.
Sam? You know.
It's hard to be a freshman pitcher who is I cannot imagine what it's like to be a freshman pitcher behind Nyjah. Like that has to be just mind-boggling. I see a lot of promise in her though. I'm excited to see her grow at Tech. I think she's on the right path to being pretty good. So
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing her play the next couple of years.
the coaching staff is very high on her.
Yeah,
'Cause she's like touches 72 from the left side.
yeah, she's incredible.
That's insane. If she just ever gets like the consistency factor down, but
Yeah. And hey, that's freshman pitcher. She'll grow out of it. She'll figure it out. It's again, I cannot imagine what it's like to be behind the wizard that Nyjah Kennedy is. Like that's crazy.
yeah. I got nothing for you, but it's got to be
Yeah.
fun. I hope it's fun for her to learn from that. But she
Yeah.
definitely brings a different look, at least nothing else. If you
Right.
can get those going next year together, whew,
Yeah.
basically the lefty 70, righty 70. Good luck. In this game, everybody did everything. Maya Davis 3 for 4, 3 runs, 3 RBI, a home run. Demi 3 for 4, 2 runs, 2 doubles. Lauren Allred 2 for 4, 2 runs, 2 RBI. Everybody, Lana Johnson went 2 for 2 with 3 RBI and a walk and a stolen base. And then Reagan Jennings, we said that, 3 for 3, 2 RBI. And then, of course, Haley Tony, 3 for 3, 4 RBI and a double.
Hey, and we had some
Oh, and
fun.
Nyjah went 1 for 2 as well. 'Cause
Yes, and we had some fun with the lineup too. We had we got to see Anya German get back.
True.
If
She broke the
we didn't get
record.
her bat in. Yeah, she was the one that got that last run.
Oh, I didn't
She
realize
got an
that.
RBI in. Yes.
she hadn't
And-
been in a game since like the 22nd of March or something.
Yeah, it's been a while. She's been battling that injury, but hopefully, if you can get her bat in, she's the one that had that clutch hit when we almost beat Texas. And then we also just had some fun people like up to bat. I think we had Chloe
Chloe?
Riasetto. Yeah, and she almost made it. She almost made it
She
to
did.
first base. Like it was pretty hype. I was
I was
like,
so
Wait,
I love
confused.
this.
Cannot believe I missed that. So okay, I'm gonna totally like expose myself
It
here.
was like 17-0 when all this was happening, so that's
Yeah,
fair.
if I in a weekend, like let's say it's a series, if I don't watch their first game and they win, I won't watch the rest of the
Oh,
games.
I feel-
am like
yeah, superstitious.
superstitious. I will be superstitious the rest of my life. Like
It's very
that will-
softball of you.
Okay.
can't let it go.
So you didn't get to watch the games this weekend, is what you're
I
telling me.
watched the championship game because like come on, like
Gotta do it.
but
Right.
I have a promise if anything goes wrong, I will turn the game off and I will not watch the rest of it. I will
That's
look
fair.
on Twitter.
When I'm at the stadium for games, if I'm like taking pictures down the first base side and they score, in the next game they're not scoring runs, I'll go back to the same spot and I'm like, it works.
Yeah.
It works. So I feel you. I feel that. But yeah, they were getting. I think he was trying not to like run the score up too much, and it just kept happening. Like he was holding people up at third base on like what would have been a triple. It was a single, and then he was putting our pitchers in to hit, and Anya German, who hadn't gotten to hit in months because she'd been injured, but finally got to. But she's a really good hitter, so I wasn't super surprised. If Chloe had been the one that set the record, when she walked in that game, I texted somebody. I was like, if Chloe does this, I'm gonna laugh so hard. Would have been hilarious, but it was good for Anya. She could have some big moments in the postseason as a pinch hitter.
Yeah, I'm excited. Again, another one I'm excited to see kind of develop over time and become a really strong player in the program.
For sure, because she momentarily had the game-winning hit against Texas earlier in the year. She drove in that run, so
Yeah,
she's a good player. So she could have some big moments coming ahead. I'm glad she's back at least. And then we moved into the championship game, which sounds like Paige did get to watch.
I did,
Superstitions or not, she allowed herself to watch this game. Texas Tech again wins 4-0 over Arizona. I think they scored 4 runs early in this one, if I remember right. Second inning, third inning, something like
it was
that.
pretty early, yeah.
And then they just kind of coasted from there. Arizona they did this to us in Arizona too, and it didn't work. So don't know what they were thinking, but they tried the lefty matchup against us again, thinking because we have so many lefties. But it didn't work, and we scored 4 runs, and then they went to their other person, and she kind of honestly did pretty good against us. So I would love to hear from their coach. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's not the end of their year. They're in the postseason, so they got it done. But here are the highlights.
I want the community to see.
Oh, JK, that's Coach Glasgow. Did I not bring the highlights in here? I might have. Oh, right here.
Series and how the pitchers
Naja again
hitters
started
as
the game.
information for
We
that.
didn't mess around. We said we're going
Like
to
you
pitch Naja
said,
Kennedy because she's on our team.
Even if you're just one run, and that's a lot of pressure for every pitcher to deal with.
Altmaier forcing
And I honestly think
Look at
this
this
game
pick.
is what made us
incredible. That
see
play was
above
awesome.
Arizona.
to get the out.
Say, oh gosh, sorry. Say that again, Tyler.
Pitchers
Oh no, I was saying I think this game is what made us get seated above Arizona. Like that's the committee's like, okay, they beat them 3 out of 4 times. Like
and that's a lot
I agree.
they deserve it.
pitcher to deal
Yeah, I'm glad they did it because they're so beholden to the RPI in softball, which is absurd. They gotta fix that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But they're 4 or 5 spots above us in the RPI. But it would have been so stupid if the team that beat them in the regular season and in the postseason tournament, in the Big 12 tournament, was seated behind them. It would have been dumb. So I'm glad they fixed that.
Solid single to center field.
Vic,
Texas
I don't know what her
Tech
average is.
scores.
Not very high, but every time it's a big moment in a game,
She's a clutch hitter.
she comes through.
She's so clutch.
She comes up.
Hard to be successful. all
Haley
the time.
Tony,
This is lifted
a
deep
double.
left field,
I think she
drifting
gets
back
third
left
on the
field.
throw.
Overhead. Kennedy can't get it.
That's an
One run
all
scores.
Big 12 defensive player she got the
Second
ball over
run.
there.
That's another big hit for the freshman,
I
Haley
loved that. Her
Kennedy.
getting out of the way there. I was laughing.
She's like, I got ran over yesterday, not happening again.
that it has felt throughout the rest of the season.
Maya Davis,
There we go, Maya.
Yeah, great piece of hitting.
she is locked in right now.
Maya's a really good situational hitter. Like she understands where to put the ball when in whatever scenario there is.
For sure.
That's
been really-
that's what to do.
It's been really cool to watch her this year because Jerry's talked about how they realized about 2 weeks into the Big 12 season, which you might be able to speak to a little bit, but he said we just realized that slapping in the Big 12 was not going to be as easy as it was in the Sun Belt.
Yeah.
He's like, we never had to change anything in the Sun Belt because she was hitting like 420 just being a slap hitter.
Yeah.
And so he said about 2 weeks into the Big 12 this year, they just said, hey, you're going to be a hitter. And she stopped working with Kaylee Kowalik as much, who works with the slapper, still works with her, and came and kind of started hitting with the power hitters. Now she's hitting all these home runs and stuff.
Yeah,
So
I feel like the Big 12 has always been pretty hit heavy for lefties. I don't remember seeing a ton of not great slapping, but a ton of, super successful long-term slapping. I think a lot of that honestly has to do with fields in the Big 12, maybe the kinds of dirt you're playing on. I don't know though. I feel like we played on a lot of soft dirt in the Big 12, but also our home field had some pretty rough dirt when I was there. So I don't know. It
might just be like the athletes being better and being able to throw. I don't know. Like
that might be
I don't
it
know
too.
what he was getting at there, but it's worked out because it's forced her to be a hitter, and I mean she's a hitter. Like she can do both now, which is great. But she's been swinging.
The game, so we gotta go
Nyjah is still Nyjah, if anyone's wondering.
It's tough. She hasn't had to whip out the changeup.
Anyone's worried about her pitching so much? Struck out the player of the year.
Yeah.
Ironic. Because
I knew they won right there because of that reaction. That was the seal of the game.
Something extra there for sure. They're gonna show what I thought was the play of the game in a minute, was that double play that she starts in the 6th inning.
Oh, yeah.
Nasty. And then Bailey Lindemith is ridiculous.
Oh, she's so good. She's so fun to watch. Again, another player that's going to be an incredible.
Isn't it insane that her and Haley are both freshmen? I
forget. I totally forget.
Like Haley didn't have a single error in Big 12 play. Isn't that crazy? Shortstop. Freshman.
That's hard. That's insane.
Coming up on this play, y'all. It's right next, I think. Arizona starts a rally here, and they're going to get Devin Netz, again, the player of the year, up to bat here with 2 on. She could have hit a bomb. She has like 20 home runs on the year and has one of those off of Nyjah, and they turn a double play. And an unconventional one at that, because Nyjah's smart, high IQ. Watch this throw.
She's such an athletic pitcher. That's so incredible.
How do we get her a gold glove? Shout out to Stretch from Lauren Allred, underrated player. Does her job on the other end as well.
Yeah.
Great play.
Impressive. That was my favorite play.
That's the hardest double play.
I made my ESPN debut in the background. And this was it. A subdued celebration, but they celebrated.
I mean, I saw people on Twitter wondering about that, like Lane celebration, like what are we doing? But like when you expect to win, like that's just how it is. You don't.
It is.
You don't make reaction.
And they soaked it in afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Like after, I think they showed a lot of the celebration on TV. People were saying, right?
Yeah.
So they didn't dogpile, but like.
Yeah, you don't need to. Again, when you expect to win, like that's the expectation, and anything less is not going to cut it. So I like that. I like that. That's the mindset of the program right now.
Yeah, they definitely have a very high expectations for themselves. Sometimes we're like always, because it's all new to Texas Tech fans, and I have to remind myself, I'm like, this is, for most of the team, it's not new.
Right.
Like, all the Louisiana players, it's crazy about, like, Alexa Langeliers is a 4-year senior, graduating senior this year. She's never lost a conference series in her career in 4 years. Never lost a conference championship. She has, like, I don't know, 8 of them now between the tournaments.
Crazy.
They won all of them. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just absurd. And so it's all this stuff that sounds really cool to us. And I'm sure it is cool to them. And they've acknowledged, like, no, it's really cool to be doing it for the first time at Texas Tech and all that and growing the game. But to them, like, what they're doing this weekend is what they've been working towards. So I'm wondering if we'll see a little bit different team, a little bit looser. Or, I don't know. I think we kind of saw that in the last couple of games. It's like, we made it a little bit.
Yeah, I think also, you have to think about it in this regional, even though I was a little worried about it. All of these teams, other than Brown, like, they're like Washington, for example, they were one of the last 4 in. They didn't even know if their name was going to be called. So because they didn't do work in their conference tournament or in conference, they were kind of shaking. Mississippi State, they lost in that crazy SEC tournament, which was just an absolute dogfight. So all these teams, they're not coming off of this high that we're on right now, where we haven't lost a conference series. We went and won 2 Big 12 championships. I mean, we're right now playing our best softball. These other teams, the committee had to be like, okay, where are you situated at? Okay, maybe you're good at this. I mean, other than Brown, but I mean, like, let's be real, like Texas Tech, Brown, but we're playing dominant softball, and it's a great time to play it. As Nija says, best time to play postseason, best time to play softball is in the postseason.
She did say that. Retweet.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to get out there this weekend. I wish you could be there, Paige, but we'll see you in Oklahoma City.
Yes.
Manifest it.
Absolutely.
Manifest it. We'll do like a
maybe,
live show.
Maybe I'll win the lottery and I'll be in Tallahassee. We'll see.
I really want to go to that too. I'm a little bit superstitious too, so like part of me's like, oh God, if I don't go and they lose, am I going to blame myself for the rest of my existence?
Right.
Even though I have nothing to do with their success or failures. In my brain, I'll convince myself that.
Yeah, no, I still don't step on lines like wherever I'm at in life because I'm convinced I'll have just like a catastrophic day after.
That is definitely a baseball, softball thing. The foul line. This team cracks me up because they don't just step over the line. I don't know if you've noticed it, but they all step on third base on the way out. They get in a little line.
I've noticed a couple of them do that. I guess I haven't seen them all do it.
They do it when they're going out usually. They all run out of the dugout and hit the base, and then a lot of them do on the way back. They touch the base on the way back too. It's adorable. They're like little ducks.
Oh.
Yeah. Someone commented on it on Red Raider Sports. Like, is this a softball thing? Why do they all? And I'm like, I think it's just a Texas Tech thing. I don't know what they got. Someone started it and they probably won a game, and then they just kept
now you have to do
it
it forever.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened. So. Yeah, I mean, we have this one last clip from Glasgow we can show you, actually, to hype you up for the games this week if you missed it. But y'all got to be there.
How special this group of athletes are. And when they get to see us in a regional setting, and they're going to be here, girls, they're going to show up. And when they see you guys perform, they're going to come back next year. And we're getting ready to turn this thing into something really special. So thank you for all your hard work. Thank you guys for helping us get it started and get it where we want it to be. So, welcome.
Shout out to him. He's just so happy. He was giddy the whole time.
Aww.
He was just happy that it got there. I think there's a lot of stress probably involved in his role as well. When you get a player of Kennedy's caliber and everyone to follow that came, well, they all came before her actually, and then she was the last one added in. It's a lot of stress, and they did it. So to get it done. Any final thoughts before we go on the series ahead? Starting up Friday at 4:30. Be there, y'all. Again, don't make us tell you. Again, we will tell you again, like every day for the rest of the week. But
please show up, support a program that, like I said earlier, has needed a lot of love in the last couple of years, needs people to pour into it. If you have ever in the last X amount of years thought, dang, I wish something good would happen to this program. If you have ever thought about the program because you read some headline in a Lubbock paper somewhere and you can't believe what you're reading, like, this is the time to show up. This is the time to pour into the program, buy into it. I told people at the beginning of the season, buy stock early. You can still buy the stock. The stock is still the same price. Buy into it now because, like, I cannot tell you guys how much it means to people like me, alumni, the girls there now. It means the world that, like, to have eyes on the program at all. So it's not somewhere I know I thought I'd ever get to see the program in my lifetime be. So the more support we have behind it, the longer it stays like this and the higher the expectations we have. So show out, be a good fan, have fun, be rowdy. It's a fun game. It's meant to be loud. You're meant to be crazy. Enjoy it.
Be a Texas Tech fan. That's what we do best, is be loud, be rowdy, have a good time. But most of all, I think this program, this is going to become the norm for this program soon. And it's going to become boring to some people eventually. It's not boring right now. It'll never be boring to me because I'll always remember the 20-0 games that we're on here talking about and all that. But some people, whatever, they're not watching then. You're going to be bored by this eventually, and it's going to be like, oh, when they make a super, I'll start, whatever.
Right. Yeah. And if
this is the first time, go, be there.
Yeah. If you are watching and you have no idea what we're talking about with what this program has been through, if you literally a quick Google search, like, just know that this program needs love.
You're welcome to tell people whatever you want to. We don't have any.
I mean, there's no like, no hard feelings or anything like that. Things happen. Life goes on that way. Just, when you go through, I can't even remember what the number is anymore, but in the last, I think 5 or 6 years, Shelby, maybe you know more.
We've had 4 coaches since 2019, right?
I think that's right.
Yeah, this would be the 4th staff.
That's right.
Because that was Demi was recruited by one staff, and then she's had 3 different coaches.
Things happen, life happens, regardless of why a coach left, isn't here, whatever. It's hard. It's hard to build something. It's hard to, again, have that commitment and have love in a program when people are in and out all the time. It's hard. It is a grind to go through it. Speaking from experience, it's hard to, as a player, want to buy into a program when people are coming in and out for whatever reason. So we went through the ringer. And again, as someone who went through the ringer, to see someone like Demi, a Reagan, and a Logan who stayed by the program when it was tough, that means a lot. And that should be rewarded. And the reward, it should be you guys getting yourselves in seats,
selling it out,
cheering them on, selling out a stadium. Again, be a part of more history for this program. It means an unbelievable amount to the people that have gotten to play on that field before. So get there.
Absolutely. Be there. And me and Tally can speak to, we were there when they clinched the regular season Big 12 title.
We were.
It was a really cool experience that I won't ever forget for the rest of my life because it just happened. The whole celebration was crazy. I don't know what's going to happen this week, but if they go out and they win this thing, something special is going to happen again on that field, and you're going to want to be there because it probably won't happen again in the future when it's not the first time. So get out there, buy your tickets. Again, they go on sale Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. I hope they go fast. So be alert because they've already sold them.
Hit that refresh button, guys.
Yeah, hit the treat it like a Taylor Swift concert up in here. Get in line, be there. And again, I don't think they're going to turn people away if they can reach to the fire code, whatever it is. They're going to standing.
The fire code should be the only reason we're turning people away.
Yeah,
again, ticket office, I love you, but please do not turn people away.
Tyler probably knows what the fire code number is, so he could find that out for us by the end of the week. But we'll find out what the max capacity is. Let's hit that number and be there. Any last thoughts before we say goodbye to the people? Thanks for coming on, Paige, by the way.
Yes, absolutely. Please,
you're welcome anytime.
Yeah, let's do this more. Let's do more softball talk, guys. Seriously.
Hey, if we win, you're superstitious, so you might just have to be back.
No, you're right. So seriously, if we win, I'm on this.
All right, we'll see you next week.
What's it called? I wanted to end it on what Liv Reigns replied to one of my tweets because I was talking about, a year ago around this time. I remember us texting Shelby and we were seeing each regional, and they got to that A&M 16 seed regional, and then they put Penn State in over us, and it was just so heartbreaking and upsetting. I mean, I called Holly Rowe out and she tried to call me out, and I was like, the SEC bias is real.
We got in a fight with Holly Rowe this time last year. We were getting in a fight with Holly Rowe, and now she's going to be at our freaking stadium, maybe. What do you know?
Literally, biggest flag. No, but it was just, you look at that, and Liv Reigns replied, she said, they can't ignore us now. And it's true. We won the conference tournament, automatic bid. We got in. We're now hosting. You can't ignore us. We're here. We're going to bring a lot of high vibes, good vibes. We're going to bring a lot of championships to Lubbock. That's what Coach Glasgow came here to do. We're building off of the foundation that started with Paige's team, and we're just going to keep up. We're just going to keep doing great. And that's just kind of what I want everyone to know is if you have any reason to be here is they can't ignore us now. Don't ignore this team like the committee did last year. Don't be these people that are being all Debbie Downers. Be there and don't ignore the team. They cannot ignore us now. We made it in. We earned our right to be here. And we're going to go win a regional, a super regional, and then a Women's College World Series. Let's get it done. But it starts with you to be there this weekend.
Yeah, Texas Tech fans love nothing more than an underdog. In a weird way, we're still the underdog, even though we have all these players, because people hate us. There's so many people that hate Texas Tech right now.
Yeah.
We're a weird team where we're this new team, and there should be a lot of support and people loving it that it's a new team. Everybody hates us.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've heard it. I saw it this weekend where I was. A lot of people were not wanting us to win there, and they're not wanting us to win this weekend. Even if they hate the SEC, they're going to be cheering for Mississippi State. I guarantee it. So go there, pack the house, and show them that Texas Tech gives a shit about softball, and make them know. Make them know.
Yes, Shelby. Yes.
All right, guys, we could stay on here for the next 2 hours and just keep it. Maybe we'll just do a live every night this week and just a 20-minute. Hey, reminder, get your butts to Rocky Johnson. All right.
We could do live ticket updates, like how many we've
Yeah,
sold.
Tyler would know. Tyler could get us that info, I bet. He'll let us know where we're at. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining. Share it with your friends. Subscribe if you haven't. And we'll see you next time we see you. I don't know when that'll be. Maybe we'll do after game updates from Rocky Johnson. We'll talk about it, Tyler. All right. We sign off with a solid Wreck 'em every time, Paige. So
Yay.
Wreck 'em.
Welcome.
Welcome.